Are you talking first?
Hey, welcome back to the Digital Ramble. How you doing?
Hey JJ, good to see you again. Our weekly catch up, and we're having a lot of fun making this episode. It's an episode that we've wanted to make for a long time because we feel it could help our businesses, listeners' businesses, people building houses, people constructing houses. How do you find a smart home professional?
Yeah, absolutely. So let me set the scene, Gamble. All right. Did you get some smart devices for the holidays that you really want to install, but you're short on time or don't have the confidence to do it yourself? Have you been tempted to install a, quote, simple DIY smart device and it's made you feel kind of dumb? You know? We know how you feel. And so today, today's topic, we're talking about how to find a qualified smart home professional.
That's right. And we know from our experiences that customers have had challenges finding the right professional for their job, whether it's finding a general professional who can do any of the tasks they need, or they need a very specific professional to do a task for a brand or an installation type that does need that special skill set. And JJ and I have been in this game a long time, so join us on this episode and we're going to go in deep on how you should choose and select your smart home professional.
Hey, and for our new viewers and our new listeners, I'm JJ Cannon, CEO of Digital Delight, a smart home design and installation firm with 20 years of experience in installing highly engineered smart home solutions. And this is my man, Chris Gamble.
Yeah, so I'm over in the UK, different accent, but very similar job. I run a business called Customized. We've been going just over 10 years, creating smart homes with the challenge of being affordable, minimalistic, and easy to use.
Hey, Gamble, real quick, before we get into it, I want to say thank you to all our Patreons that contribute and support this show. We've got quite a few listeners and viewers who are very encouraging for us to keep on going. And without their support, it'd be very challenging for us to continue to do this on a weekly basis. So I want to say thank you and tip my hat to those guys and gals out there that support the show.
Yeah. Now, this show follows nicely on from last week where we gave you top reasons for hiring a home tech pro or a smart home professional. Now we want to help you find that professional. So you've identified maybe a pain point or a frustration or some work that you're getting done in your home and you need it done by a professional. How do you go about choosing them? How do you go about even finding them? Because, they're not the everyday tradesperson. They are specialist companies that may not be on your speed dial list. They may not be easy to find in directories. They may not be easy to find online. So we're going to help you narrow down where to look for these people and also the things to ask them.
Whenever I started 20 years ago, Gamble, I used to try to find the right spot for us in the Yellow Pages. The Yellow Pages, for you younger listeners, is this book, and the pages were actually yellow, and there was categories that, you had to kind of pigeonhole yourself into to help people find you. But since then, technology, the internet has greatly improved the ability to not only look and find particular services that you're looking for, but also get a good understanding of who you're trying to communicate with.
That's right. And so our first place to look for the professional is an obvious one. Look online, use Google, the search engine, put in keywords that you think are relevant to your project, whether it's, simple ones like smart doorbell installation, Texas, smart doorbell installation, New York. Location, what you need done, type that into your search engine. Hopefully, and it should bring up professionals in your area. If it doesn't bring up the professionals, it might bring up brand specific professional networks like the Nest Pro scheme, like Lutron Pros. We're part of these schemes, and it does help us be discovered by customers looking for installation services. So just put in that keywords, what you need done, put that into the search engine.
And that's been a big debate, in our industry and amongst ourselves is like, what do you call yourselves? Is it like, are you a home theater installer? Are you a lighting control specialist? Do you, there's all kinds of different smart home professional, like who are we? And that's kind of a big challenge for finding people in our profession. And so Google search really greatly helps with that. And Gamble, we should probably do a show about SEO and searches, for people in our industry to help get their brand and their companies out there. And that'll be for another show. But I think that's an interesting topic of how to be found.
For a long time, people in our industry, they were called the TV guy, the AV guy, and sometimes we get called the IT guy because they might relate that to somebody in their workplace that's techie, and we're in a similar kind of role in their home. So don't feel too put out if you get called those things. They're just familiar tags that our industry have had for a long time. But that's some simple phrases. And if you're asking people, which is another important one, where ask friends, ask family, ask neighbors, say who did your AV, who was your TV guy or girl, who was your smart home professional. So ask people in the community. I believe that lots of others may have had work done. Maybe you spot a smart device in your neighbor's house or your friend's house. They've got a thermostat or a doorbell. Ask who did that for them. That's normally a good way to get some kind of referral as well.
Yeah, definitely bringing up the topic, but also ask about the experience, because it's not only putting the device in. I mean, it's the experience as a whole, as a service company, like, when the product was installed, the simple stuff, were you educated on how to use it? Do you feel like it was maximized? Do you have access to that individual whenever you have challenges? Because honestly, that's crucial to having access to a smart home professional is the quality of work. And so, yes, not only ask who did it, but what was the experience like? And you're talking about Google or Bing or these search engines that you can type in words like, home theater installer and put in your zip code or put in your area and it'll pop something up. And what's cool about that is it has reviews, and
Sure.
you can actually, so not only finding somebody and if you think about it, and I was thinking about this as we were prepping this week for the show, Gamble, is that referral is also Google. Google is kind of like your neighbor per se and looking for referrals, and the reviews is fantastic feedback on, what the community's saying about that particular, individual or that firm.
A big trend is what we call digital word of mouth. We as a business are always trying to generate digital word of mouth, and that's through Facebook reviews, Google reviews, or Google business reviews. Could be other things like Yelp, which is more relevant in your area, which is not really caught on as much here, but places where people who have used your services or people that are similar to your scenario have used a home technology professional, they've left a review, good or bad, because not every review is going to be glowing, but that gives you more evidence to choose your installer with confidence. But I do think that you still need to go much further beyond the digital, the online. You need to get face to face with these people as well.
The other thing that I like about reviews is, and particularly about the negative reviews, is the response. Like, how does that company handle, challenges that might have happened, within that project, and how they respond, really says a lot about that firm. Silence could mean something, versus a communication saying this is what we did to try to alleviate that problem means a lot. To us, it's important at Digital Delight, if and when, and it happens. You want to try to make everybody 100% happy, but sometimes it's business, and you can't make everybody happy. But how do you respond to those challenges? I think says a lot for a company, rather than just kind of sweeping it under the rug and not saying anything.
Yeah. So once you've identified the installer, digitally, maybe you've reached out to them via email, maybe you've reached out to them via message or some kind of contact facility they've got on their page. You may then have the opportunity to meet them face to face, or you may get the opportunity then to engage with them in a longer dialogue. So you're going to start asking these people questions. You have to know if these people are suitable for your installation. So you need to start thinking about, what do we ask this professional? Are they able to do the task in a technical perspective? Are they able to do it in a time scale that's needed? Because that's a big one for me. That's a big one. People identify that we are a business that can do the job for them. Of course, we have a broad spectrum of skills and a history of installing technology. But can we do it in the timescales they expect? We're in the Amazon generation of next day delivery. Maybe your expectations are a bit high, that you want your installation same day or tomorrow. That's something to definitely ask, because they're busy businesses. They're out there doing it, hundreds of installations a year. Have they got time for your installation?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what's the scope of that installation? A lot of the times, clients might have a product, but there are accessory devices that must be ordered in order to function, or create that experience for what the client's expectations are. And sometimes that takes time. Sometimes you have to engineer exactly how you're going to accomplish that. And finding a professional, a good way to understand that. And we talked about it last week in 8 top reasons you should hire a smart home professional. And I want to encourage people to check out our Facebook page and look at that last video of why you might want to hire somebody. But, you can go a little bit deeper in digital, and for us and the Digital Ramble crew, social media is a big part of I call it waving the flag, letting people know who we are and what we do and the kind of experience that we can create. I think a lot of professional firms are starting to do the same thing, and they're doing it on Facebook and on Instagram and on Pinterest. And so once you dial up a company and you find somebody that you might be comfortable with, you can dig a little bit more and take a look at their social streams and seeing what kind of activity they have going on, because a lot of us are presenting our before, our during, and our after experiences that we're creating, and the details that goes into the job, which a lot of people take as unseens or unknowns, in the sense of, we have several friends and they focus on detailing of labeling and, really specific trim outs of wires and things like that. And that's what their specialty craft is. And so that might relate differently to some people than it does to other audiences. But it's a great way to understand who you're getting ready to talk to or maybe hire.
Well, that's a big point. If you're following these businesses on social media, and that's one way for you to find out more about them, you can really assess whether they are the type of business you need. If you're not seeing examples of installations similar to your property or your requirements, I would question whether that business wants to work with you in both spectrums. Is your home very high-end and luxurious? Has that business got evidence of working at that top end of the market? But likewise, if you've got the everyday home, which is the kind of customers we deal with primarily, is there evidence that they're doing simple installations like doorbells, smoke detectors, door locks, simple cinema and music systems? Because there are divisions in the smart home professional industry there's the very high end and elite and custom and bespoke element, and then there's for the masses, for the everyday home and budgets and expectations is a big discussion point in our industry. That expectations of what the customer is getting. Look for evidence that this professional can do what you're needing done.
Yeah, because just in that little bit of digging, it might become very obvious to you very quickly that is the right person for me, or that is not the right person for me. An example of we used to do highly engineered, and don't get me wrong, the devices that we're doing now are highly engineered by the manufacturer. In the past, I used to be the one who need to highly engineer, a system to accomplish whatever that expectation is. And for us, we use a lot of consumer-based products that are very well known on the market, and some firms don't. They use other manufacturers that are good quality manufacturers that can get the job done, but that might not be in the field that you wanna play in. And through the social post, you can quickly identify, he does that product. That's the type of product, that I am looking to have in my home. So quickly identify the products that maybe that installer is good at or that does on a regular basis. And that's key, man, is making sure you find somebody that is on point with what you're trying to install. Because if somebody calls me for Crestron's just not my thing. But if they would have gone through my social and through my Google, they would have known that I'm not necessarily a Crestron guy. But if they go through my social, they would have clearly seen that I'm a smart home kind of guy that uses everyday devices.
So when you're still digging, look for indications that maybe that business offers surveys, consultations. Take advantage of those. Some may be free, some may be chargeable, but it would probably be a small fee if it is chargeable for them to visit your home. If that isn't possible, say it's a new construction or a remodel of the home, look for dealers and businesses that have a facility for you to visit. If they don't have that, look for them to invite you to projects they may have completed. That's often an option. And even beyond that, look for invitations by them to maybe they take you to one of their suppliers' facility, like a lighting showroom, an interior showroom. It might be somebody that supplies their product, like their lighting control system. They'll likely have some kind of experience center. So look for the opportunity to see the products for yourself, to meet the businesses that may be doing your installation work. Get them to come out to the home if that option's there, because it can really clarify what you may have thought you need. It might be something totally different that your requirements are, to solve your issue or your frustration. That pro spending that few moments in your home can come up with other solutions, maybe more affordable, maybe more in keeping with your property and your budget.
I'm one of those firms, Gamble, that we like going out and doing consultations for potential clients, for a couple of reasons. One is to get a feel for the client and listen to them. There's only so much you can gather over the phone, and many years ago we just used to do phone consultations, and on occasion that might get it done. A Nest Hello, done, we can do it. Ring doorbell, done, we can do it. But sometimes clients want audio distribution or single remote control of an environment. And by us going out to the client's home, we can evaluate exactly what their needs are. And then also the clients sometimes have unforeseen pain points, as we like to call it, that can be addressed and provide the client a little bit more bang for their investment, while we're out at their home. Something that could be a very simple task as long as we were prepped ahead of time. I mean, the worst thing for us is to go out to a client's home to install a solution and then have to come back because we weren't completely aware of what was needed or what could have been accomplished. And so we really like setting foot in the client's home, letting them hear, us listening to what their needs are, and then us being able to communicate back to them face to face of exactly what our capabilities are and how to go about accomplishing that. And also we like talking about our procedures, and how we go about, the process, with our homeowners.
So in summary, some of the best ways and tips to find your home technology professional, the easy ones, the early stages: get on your search engines, type in some keywords of the task you need, look for, based on location, mention brands that you might favor. It will start to generate some results of local businesses in your area or search engines specific for brands. So there might be a pro scheme for Lutron or Sonos or Nest, just as examples that, those things are out there. Then start asking questions, narrow down, is the dealer or the installer the right person for you? Do they have the qualifications? Do they cover your area? Do they have the availability? Do they have
insurance?
Yeah. Well, this is where, these are things that we welcome lots of comments on this post, things that you think are also important for dealing with any professional, really, whether it's smart home or general home services. Then make inroads into meeting these people face to face. Either invite them to your home for their surveys and consultations they offer, go to their facilities. They might have a showroom or an experience center. Go and meet them if they have exhibit at a trade show or some kind of home building show. Look for their signposting that they're going to be in your community. And then, last but not least, get multiple quotations and estimates for the job. You might have a great relationship with this dealer that you've found, but the price may be beyond your budget. Look for alternatives on budget. Look for alternatives if you're not 100% sure that they're the right pro. So keep your options open, and then once you've got all that evidence, make the decision.
Yeah, Gamble, and in closing, in closing, in what our conversation is about today on how to find a smart home professional, I'd like to add, a couple of things that are important, at least for us, because I've had to use it, is like insurance, and making sure that company's insured, because we're $1 million homes and accidents happen, and so you might want to make sure that person has insurance. Certifications are pretty important as well, and I just want to throw that out there because I know that my team is certified in a variety of different needs, like networking or lighting control or remote programming and things of that nature. So I just wanted to add that in closing. Whenever you are searching out a professional, ask them about those types of things. So just wanted to add that.
Cool. So please leave comments on that. We welcome all input from professionals and from consumers that we want your input, because we want to make it easier for people to engage with our industry, and this is why we're creating content like this. Next week, we're going to talk about price, which is something close to my heart, demystifying and debunking lots of misconceptions about how much smart home installation costs.
Right, and there's a variety of different ways that our industry, I mean, every firm is different in setting their price structure or how they collect, and so that's going to be an interesting conversation next week about, you know, how we do it, how you might do it, how we hear other people within our industry doing it. We'll take some Gamble, some Ramble Force feedback and, throw it in the mix, because it's interesting to talk about and conversate about.
Right, so Gamble Ramble this week. I don't know if we've got any sound effects.
Yeah, we got some sound effects for the... Oh, wait, hold on. I was talking over the Gamble Ramble. Go. Mike, it's a big one today. Light them up, Mike.
Yeah. I think I've maybe mentioned this already, but this isn't a bad thing, because this trend is not disappearing. It's only increasing. And it's one of the big frustrations that our customer base has, and I know you suffer the same frustrations for some of your rural homeowners and customers. Broadband speeds, internet speeds coming into the home not being adequate for technology, not being adequate for media streaming, not being adequate for communication, which is, we couldn't do this without adequate internet speeds. And some homeowners are struggling with the provision of speeds from the traditional providers, the telecoms, the telephone companies, the cable providers that may or may not be available in their area. And in a lot of cases, the homeowners just putting up with it for many, many years. They're living with these very, very low speeds, substandard, living in digital poverty. I really feel that vibe when I walk into homes and I say, wow, this is what it's like without smart TV. This is what it's like without, tablets and, voice assistants and games consoles, because they're living around an inadequate infrastructure. When we've introduced them to an alternative, which they didn't know about, and it's a shame that these things aren't publicized more.
It's education.
4G internet. 3G internet is often quicker than what they're getting. We may highlight to them community internet schemes that are available through, we've got a popular one in our area called Y-Spire. So it uses church spires to bounce a higher speed internet signal around the area wirelessly than is available through a cable to your home.
Spire internet is glorious. I just had to throw that in there. Sorry.
Yeah. So just please, if anyone's listening to this show, either you are getting that frustrations, you know of people with that frustrations, get them to put into the search engine 4G internet, 5G internet will be the next search term, community internet schemes. All these things, they need to start making themselves aware of them, because if you haven't been serviced with high-speed internet yet, you may have been left behind. You may not ever get that cable to the home. Look at wireless alternatives that you can receive in your location.
Yeah, absolutely, Gamble. Now for the Ramble Roundup. Social media call for viewers to follow the news coming out on ISE, which is happening in Amsterdam. And ISE is kind of like the CES of the UK.
In Europe. So Amsterdam in Holland, Netherlands, big annual gathering of industry professionals. This is a professionals only show. So we've talked about the CEDIA Expo, and we've been to that and we've done content there. That is a part of ISE. ISE is Integrated Systems Europe. It's joint owned by CEDIA and Avixa, who are the commercial AV and communications,
like restaurants and
industry associations. So you have all the residential tech, all the commercial tech. So it's like the Resi-mercial show, really. That word's come back again. Resitality was the other one.
Yeah.
So it's the Resi-mercial show, and it is enormous. It starts at the time of broadcasting. It will have started on the Tuesday, and it runs all the way through to the Friday.
Now, we got a digital Rambler on the ground over there, right?
Yeah. So social media, first of all, lock into the hashtag. Hashtag ISE. That's India Sierra Echo 2019. ISE 2019. Look for that.
All one word, no space.
Yeah. So look for that, first of all. To go even deeper into the show and see it from the perspective of a social media superstar, and I'm not exaggerating there.
Not kidding.
Follow at Art of Smart UK. They will be at the show for 2 or 3 days. I know they're going with their whole team. I think there's 10 of them attending the show. They're going to do a full takeover. I really think they're going to cause a big ruckus this year. They're going out there to scoop up awards. They're going out there to create new content. And they're going out there to shake up the industry this year and next year. So follow at Art of Smart UK on all platforms to see what they get up to at ISE 2019.
All right, man. And so, yeah, we covered about what we're doing next week, and which we're talking about is pay, social, how much you should anticipate, a smart home professional costing. So.
Yeah. So if you have specific tasks or frustrations and you want to know roughly how much that's going to cost, do you have Wi-Fi issues? Do you have access issues, security concerns? We can deal and talk about some of the price points for typical smart home installations next week.
Gamble, it was awesome sitting down and chatting with you. Mike, bring us up, please. And I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope that we have been impactful to our listeners today. We truly try to add value to our industry and to homeowners, small businesses, to truly get some good technology into their home or small businesses. So, brother, you have a wonderful week.
I will, JJ. And look out for maybe a surprise trip to Amsterdam. It's in the mix. It's not confirmed, but watch this space.
All right, brother. Take care.
Okay,
Take us out, Mike. Every month, the Digital Ramble will receive a regular source of income from supporters who've pledged through Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, having your ongoing support means we spend less time thinking about business and more time creating quality content for you.
Customized, based in Norfolk, England, are proud sponsors of the Digital Ramble. Check out our all set up services. It's smart home installation with ease. Customize.uk.com.
If you're looking to make your basic home smart, check out digitaldelight.com/shop, where they have a variety of different smart home technology solutions that help make smart home shopping easy for you. Check out digitaldelight.com/shop.